Greetings! In today's video, I'll be taking a look at this watercolor paint set from Qiaomei. It's a nice little travel set with 24 colors in a plastic case with a removable mixing tray. There's a little tool included with the set to pop the mixing tray off and also to pry the pans out of the palette. It struggles a bit with the pans as they are fit really snugly in there. I love when a mixing tray is removable, both for the extra mixing space that can be found under it, but also for how easy it is to clean up if one needs to clean it. You can just take the tray and put it under running water and clean it up this way, and it's really easy. The pans are unwrapped, but there's a sticker over the whole thing to identify the colors. The advantage of having unwrapped pans is that it takes a lot less time to get this palette ready to go. The pans themselves are also unlabeled though, so if you fear mixing these up, it might be a good idea to label them with a Sharpie or other similar permanent pen. I prepared a swatch sheet to test out these colors, and while writing down the name of the colors and their pigment composition, I noticed a few surprising things. Some of these paints use pigments that have been discontinued in paints, like P49, which is genuine quinacridone gold, and PR88, which is Theo Indigo Violet. There's also a few unusual hues for pigments we've seen in other paints, but I'll come back to that a bit later. The paints were really easy to re-wet and look really nice on paper. I made a mini swatch card to see the colors on black paper so that I can see which colors are opaque and which are not. Quick note, the black paper really hates masking tape. So keep that in mind if you plan to paint on black paper. It really tears off the paper with the masking tape. Back to the paints. With a selection of 24 colors, there's definitely a really nice coverage in terms of versatility. We get 4 yellows, 1 red-orange, 2 reds, a magenta, a deeper red, a purple, a cyan, 3 blues, a deeper blue, 3 greens, 4 earth tones, and a black and white. Let's take a closer look at the colors that I thought were worth examining more thoroughly. The first one is the Gamboge hue, made from PY153. The swatch on the sticker and the box are misleading, as they show a color that's a deep, saturated, transparent brown. The actual paint is a beautiful transparent yellow, somewhat reminiscent of a nickel azo yellow. It looks a lot like Core's permanent gamboge. The second color that's quite interesting is the alizarin crimson hue, made with PR206. This is a pigment that was recently discontinued in many brands, so it's quite surprising to see it here. This version is more red and less orange than other versions I was able to compare it to, and it is quite lovely. Right next to it, there's a really surprising color, Purple Lake, made from PR88. Like I said, this is Theo Indigo Violet, a pigment that has been discontinued quite some time ago. It's considered a rare find now if you are able to acquire a vintage paint featuring this pigment. It is quite a unique color. It's a beautiful reddish purple. I don't have an actual swatch of this color on hand. I was able to go back to a previous review video that I did where I was swatching this color from My Merry Blue, and I snapped an image from the video, but it's not a comparison in the same context as the other comparisons I've shown. The color looks very similar to the swatches, both the one that I made and the one that I was able to see online, so I'm pretty convinced that this is the genuine thing. Either way, it's a really beautiful purple. The next and last surprise of this set is found in 2 of the green colors. Both Sap Green and Hooker's Green Light have PO49 in them. This is the genuine quinacridone gold pigment. It would have been perhaps a bit more exciting to have a pan that featured PO49 on its own, but seeing it in these mixes gives me hope that the color might come back someday. I made a little drawing to test out the paints, and they were a lot of fun to use. They were easy to mix, layered well, and look good on paper. I love the size and subdivisions of the mixing area as well. You get plenty of room to mix colors, and you can often mix more than one color per area. I think it's definitely a great little set for traveling at an affordable price too. I'm also quite impressed with the Purple Lake color, to be honest. For a pigment nerd, this is a really surprising and exciting thing to see. I'll have links in the description if you want to check this little set out. So, what do you think of this little set? Is this something you would use? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and a big thank you to Paul Rubens for sending me this set to try out. Take care! Bye bye.